Hey, this is Brian. Let's talk about how to clean your car interior, because it's one of the hardest things really to do. The floorboards get filthy with, lint and dust and dirt and leaves and rocks and everything else you track in. Seems like the dashboard and the screens always have dust and stuff on them. Dust is always getting in the cracks of your your air conditioning vents and the buttons of your stereo and that kind of thing. So it's difficult to keep a car's interior clean. But there are ways to do it that are very, very effective, okay? Number one, you just vacuum the car. I mean, that's easy enough, right? But do it regularly, because the longer you leave that dirt and stuff in the floorboard, the more it gets ground in to the actual carpeting or the flooring of your vehicle, which can then wear holes. If not wear holes, at least it makes it very thin. I also use two different kinds of floor mats. I have carpet floor mats that I use in the summertime, and I have all-weather floor mats that I got from WeatherTech that I use in the wintertime. And I strongly recommend doing that if you live in the kind of area where you're gonna get weather. Now, I live in Southern California now, so I don't usually break out the all-weather mats too often, but I do own them. Now, as far as cleaning the dashboard and the plastics and the pleathers inside, the actual fit and finish of the vehicle, stay away from Armor All, okay? For two reasons. Number one, it's terrible for that kind of material. It works great for the outside. You put it on the bumpers, put it on the wheels, all that kind of stuff is great. Me personally, I don't put it on the interior components of the car. I mean, this is a BMW 535. You can see the dash right here. This type of material right here, if you put Armor All on it, it does two things, right? Number one, it will break this down over time because it actually attracts the sun and it attracts more damage to the surface. The other thing that it will do is it'll make it really, really shiny, which makes it reflect off the windshield. You can see the reflection of my fingers in the windshield, which makes it more difficult to see, and so it's not very safe, right? As far as cleaning the plastics, like this stuff here and the screen that you see right here, do yourself a favor. Don't take a rag, just any rag to that, okay? Because if they're dusty and they have dust on them and you take a rag to it, that dust is tiny little particles of sand, and you're gonna rub swirl marks into that plastic. It's very soft plexiglass, plastic-like stuff. So you don't wanna do that. What you wanna do is you wanna take a polishing cloth like you use for your sunglasses, right? If you got one of those things with your Oakleys or whatever, you wanna take one of those things, damp it very, very lightly with a fine mist from a spray bottle or something, and wipe it very gently to get the dirt and the dust off, and then you can go back with a 100% cotton terry cloth towel and very lightly get any of the streaking off from the cleaning, okay? That'll prevent you from getting the swirl marks and things in the dash. If you do those things, you're great. And then as far as getting the dust and everything off the dashboard and off the wood trim and all that kind of stuff, just use your damp rag. When I'm done drying the car, my towel usually has some dampness left in it, and I just take it and I just run it over the top of everything. And that's it. That's all you need to do. For the seats, right, I use Lexol products on the seats. Keeps the seats looking nice and great. And other than that, there's really not a whole lot more that you need to do, but I would definitely do those two things. I would stay away from Armor All on the interior of your car, and I would also not use just a towel straight on your screens or your plastics that protect your gauge cluster, because if you do that, you're gonna end up with swirl marks in the plastic. I bought this car 3 years ago, and here, I'll show it to you from the outside, and it still looks practically brand new. I mean, it's just, not to pat myself on the back, but done a pretty good job taking care of it. I bought this car as a reward for myself for having a banner year in my business. If you'd like some information about how you can start a business from home working online, click on the link below. It'll take you to workingwithbrian.com. And in the meantime, happy keeping your car clean.